fans don't stay because of how much skin you show. They stay because of how you make them feel. And when you master that, you build a following that is loyal for the long haul. Welcome back to On the Horizon. This is MelRose Michaels. I am your host, and I'm here to share what's worked for me in building my adult creator business to try to make building yours just a little bit easier. Let's get into today's episode. Have you ever looked at another creator and thought, why do they have fans who follow them anywhere, buy anything that they drop, and then defend them on online platforms like soldiers, and treat them almost like a religion? If you've ever watched people come for Taylor Swift online, you know what I'm talking about. Except some adult content creators achieve this too. And it's not luck, and it's not looks, and it's definitely not because they're working harder than you. It's because they've built something deeper than content. They've built a cult-like following. And in this episode, I'm going to break down exactly how they did it and how you can too. By the end, you will not only understand why some creators have audiences that will never leave them, but you'll also have practical steps to be able to start building your own loyal, ride or die fan base. So let's jump into this, and I want to be really clear. When I say cult-like following, I do not mean manipulative or dangerous. What I mean is an audience that is deeply, deeply loyal. Fans who don't just, consume content, but they actually believe in you. They feel connected to you. They would rather pay you than anyone else. So I want you to think about it like this. Some creators, they have fans that come and go. They'll subscribe and unsubscribe. They won't hit the rebuild button. They won't go buy your clips on other platforms or go watch a scene if you produced a studio scene for public publication. They're not going to follow you wherever you go. The average fan isn't loyal, and I think we all know this. But other people, other creators, they have cult-like followings. Fans that will stay for years and years, spend consistently on them, follow them wherever they go, buy whatever they launch, and bring others with them. This is more of a community. This is what I want you to understand. The difference is casual fans will buy content, but cult-like fans will buy into you. They'll buy into your brand. And that's the shift that we're going to unpack today. Later in this episode, I'm going to share the one exercise you can do this week to start transforming your audience into a community that feels obsessed with you in a good way. So stay tuned because the single shift can change how fans engage with you forever. So let's talk about the philosophy behind kind of cult-like followings, right? Cult-like audiences, they're not built on what you sell, okay? They're built on who you are. The 3 philosophical truths to anchor yourself in for this are going to be, number 1, people want to belong, right? We are wired to join groups or to find our tribe. Everyone knows this because we've all felt it in our lived experience to some extent. So the creators who win, they make fans feel like insiders, like part of something special, something exclusive. This is why the cam performer community or creator has an advantage here, because when you log on cam, you start to build this community because you have these incidents that happen on cam that only the people who were there get to witness. And you have the inside jokes that start to occur because only the people who were there to see you live were a part of it. People want to belong. They want to feel like they're a part of something. Number 2, people follow certainty. This is where it's really easy to become the creator that just has fans because certainty requires consistency. If you show up confidently and consistently, you have a very clear vibe and fans will attach to you. They want to be led. They want to know they can count on you. They want to know you're going to be there when they log online or when they go to purchase something. You need to have certainty. Now, number 3, people crave identity. I'm sure you can, vouch for this yourself just as a human having a human experience. So fans, they don't want to just watch you. They want to identify with you, your quirks and your humor and your struggles, your challenges you've faced. This is why authenticity shines really well. A creator that I can outwardly say has a cult-like following is Kazumi. her fans follow her. They buy into anything they do. They feel she's super relatable to them because she shines and shares so authentically. You can feel like you're a part of her journey. It's very easy to do. I feel like it as a fan of her personally, watching her and watching her evolve. And I'm sure if you're familiar with this creator I mentioned, you can understand what I'm talking about.
If you're enjoying this podcast episode so far, please take one moment to share it with another one of your adult content creator friends, because you know what the rule is here. We do not gatekeep, and we want to make as many adult creators' businesses as easy as possible. And you sharing this episode with them might do exactly that. Thanks so much in advance.
The more you can create this sense of belonging and certainty and identity, the more loyal your following is going to become. So let's talk about tangible steps to build loyalty, right? This is why you're here. You want to get practical. So step one of this is to create your core identity. This is going to come down to brand, right? So deciding who you are to your fans. Are you the girlfriend? Are you the brat? Are you the dom? Are you the fantasy? And whatever that is, being consistent with it. So with your vibe and your tone and your captions, the way you reply to fans, it all needs to be recognizable. It all needs to be aligned with that brand and with that brand identity. So this is where you really want to hone in your branding and brand identity. I mean, we've talked about this at length in other podcast episodes. We have YouTube videos on this, courses. It's all available for free. Go find it if you haven't really been able to articulate your brand yet. So once you know what this is, your brand, you've got these two things, you've decided and you're consistent in the way you speak, in your tone, and you've got it across the platform. I want you to write a 3-sentence description of your fan-facing persona. So you can post this on your wall or by your laptop, wherever you're going to see it. Make it your phone wallpaper. So this 3-sentence description is important because everything you create should align with it. So I want to clarify this and give you practical examples because I don't want you spending your time chasing this idea or philosophy. I just want to give you examples so you know how to execute it. There's 3-sentence description, right? It's going to fit your fan-facing persona. So if your fan persona is the playful girlfriend persona, your 3-sentence description might be, I'm the girlfriend you always wished you had. Funny, flirty, a little bratty, maybe always teasing you just enough to keep you hooked. I make you feel like the center of my attention, like you're inside a private joke with me. And my content feels like stolen moments, like we're sneaking away together. That's the 3-sentence description of the fan-facing persona for the playful girlfriend. Let's do another one, right? The dominant seductress persona. So the 3 sentences that are fan-facing might be, I'm the woman who takes control, who doesn't ask but commands. You come to me for the thrill of surrender, for the escape of handing over your power. And with me, it's never about watching. It's just obeying. So this would be the 3-sentence description of your fan-facing persona for the dominant seductress persona. So let's do relatable girl next door persona. I'm the girl you bump into at the coffee shop, sweet, approachable, a little awkward, but with a secret side that I only show you. My fans feel like they're my closest friends, like they're getting to know the real me. My content is intimate, raw, and it feels like we're just hanging out together. So that is the 3-sentence description of a fan-facing persona for the relatable girl next door. You could also do the chaotic kind of bestie. So I'm your unfiltered best friend who overshares, laughs too loud, lets you into every messy, sexy, hilarious part of my life. With me, it's never polished. It's just real, fun, full of surprises. My content makes you feel like you're part of my inner circle. So that would be the 3-sentence description of a fan-facing persona for the chaotic bestie type of creator. And then you can have the luxe fantasy persona, right? This might be for the findom kind of niche. I'm the fantasy you escape into, the glam, the unattainable woman who makes you feel lucky just to be noticed. Every post, every video, every DM feels like a private invitation into my world. And with me, desire feels exclusive, like you've just joined some VIP club. Okay, so that's the 3-sentence fan-facing persona for kind of the findom luxe fantasy persona experience. Either way, the goal isn't to box yourself in. It's to define the emotional experience your fans should have with you. And then every caption, every DM, every video becomes consistent with that vibe, with that emotional experience your fans should have with you. And also, once you've got this part done and it's really well defined, you can go to GPTease.ai. You can tell it about your brand, give it this 3-sentence description of your fan-facing persona, and then ask it to identify and use this as a filter to write all your captions, your PPV messages, social media posts through. This way, your brand is super aligned across the board. This is going to give you that consistent feeling we talked about, right? So now we move on. Step 2 overall in this process of, tangible steps to build loyalty. Step 1, creating your core identity. Step 2 is going to be building rituals. So cults run on rituals, right? Like whether it's a weekly sermon or whether it's chants or affirmation or whether it's routines. I mean, you can identify religion as cult, you can identify fitness enthusiasts as cults, you can identify anything like that that has an extreme amount of loyalty under this umbrella, right? And you can have rituals too. So maybe you drop a weekly voice note or a Friday night teaser or a monthly confessionals post. Whatever it is, fans love predictability, right? We talked about consistency, and they're going to start looking forward to your rituals. So I want you to choose one thing you'll do weekly or monthly or persona themed that fans can count on. And again, I'm going to give you some examples because I don't want you to spend too much time overthinking the philosophy of this. So some weekly ritual ideas. These are easy. These are going to sound super familiar, right? A Monday motivation kind of voice note. So dropping a short, flirty, or inspirational audio message every Monday that sets the tone for your fans for the week. You can do Teaser Tuesday, 10, 20-second clip or preview of your exclusive video that comes out, and you drop that teaser every Tuesday. Maybe like a wild card Wednesday, posting something unpredictable, whether it's a poll, a silly confession, or like a would you rather game, getting the fans to engage in the comments. You could do Thirst Trap Thursday. This is a guaranteed sexy selfie or short clips that fans can count on and look forward to every Thursday. Friday Night Fantasy, right? A recurring theme post or mass message that feels like a mini event to kick off the weekend for your fans. Now let's reframe this into monthly ritual ideas, right? Maybe you have a confessional night. Once a month, you share personal confessions, whether they're sexy or silly or relatable, and you invite other fans to share theirs. And think about this as an AMA, but instead of an Ask Me Anything, you're doing confessionals. You can have Fan Shout Out Friday, which is highlighting loyal fans and sharing anonymous compliments from that. Maybe you go into your DMs and you share things people have said to you. You could do a custom clip lottery. This could be a ritual. Once a month, you randomly pick a fan to win and just gets a short, personalized custom clip from you. You could also do behind the scenes drops. So sharing monthly BTS dumps of bloopers or raw, unedited moments. This can be your monthly ritual. Now, I also mentioned persona themed rituals. And I think this is actually kind of the golden egg of the ritual kind of, I guess, pursuit, at least for me. So this would be you leaning into a strong ritual around your persona or your brand. So, for example, if you had like that girlfriend persona we talked about, maybe you do Sunday morning coffee, which is just like a casual selfie or a voice note, like you just woke up with them. Or your Sunday morning coffee could be a live stream to your fans where you're getting up and you're still in like a cute PJ set and you're sharing and talking and chatting over your coffee with them. If you're more the Dom persona, you could have an obedience check, weekly or monthly instructions for fans to kind of comment or like or DM or submit videos doing this, ritualized act of submission, whatever it might be. If you were more of that chaotic bestie persona, you could do like Spill the Tea Tuesday, where you share random or funny or like a dramatic story time every week. People love story times. All of TikTok was like developed on top of it. We know it works, right? It's proven. If you have that fantasy or findom or like luxe persona, maybe you're doing like Midnight Secrets, where it's like once a week you drop something at midnight that fans look forward to expecting. Or maybe you do inside the dressing room, where you're showing them outfits you're thinking about buying or spending money on that they get to see exclusively as a behind the scenes, like they're in the dressing room with you because it's findom or fantasy or luxe aligned. Either way, the ritual itself doesn't have to be complicated. That's why I wanted to give you these examples. What actually matters is number one, that it's predictable. Fans know what's coming. Number two, that it's really unique to you, your brand and your persona. It has to fit. And number three, it builds anticipation and connection, right? They don't want to miss it. They're going to feel FOMO if they miss out. Now, step 3 to building this cult-like following, you want to speak directly to your audience. I see a lot of creators making this mistake. You want to use phrases like you and we and us instead of I. Otherwise, you're talking at them and not to them or with them. You want to make them feel like insiders by dropping, exclusive things, behind the scenes, private thoughts, secrets, things that make them feel a part of something, right? We talked about that. And then pro tip, this is like indirect but also directly related. Always look into the camera lens when you're recording your content. Do not look at your front-facing camera screen. This increases the sensation when fans watch your content that they feel like they're being directly spoken to, like you're making eye contact with them. It only works if you look at the lens. If you're looking at your front-facing camera, they're not going to get that psychological trigger of eye contact, and that's going to make them feel directly spoken to. So in your next post, write it like you're kind of like whispering into a fan's ear, and also lean on audio posts when you can because they're so much more intimate. Voice is always superior to text. We've said that 1,000 times. Now, step 4, when you're creating a cult-like following, you need to create exclusivity. Fans pay for access to you as much as they do for content. Content is everywhere on the internet, right? We know this. You need to drop things that are limited time, that are exclusive. You want to give nicknames to your fans. You want to give a group name to your inner circle. For me, it's MelRose Mafia. This is something we've been calling ourselves since my early webcam days. You want to do things that feel exclusive. And in addition, you should try to have some exclusive perk for your community that they get as a benefit for being a part of it, like a VIP thing or a tier or a personal gift you give out for whoever hits this milestone. I have a 1-year club. If you've been subscribed to me 1 year or longer, you are part of this exclusive club on my platforms, and you get exclusive perks as a result of this. Now, step 5 in this creating, a cult-like following, we need to prioritize storytelling over selling. This is really, 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 really important. Storytelling is superior to selling. Fans, they don't become loyal because you've sold them something. They become loyal because they've bought into the story. So instead of, for example, here's my new video, which I see all the time, try to frame it as, last night I filmed something that I wasn't sure I wanted to share with anyone, but I couldn't stop thinking about how much you'd love it. This frames your content in the story of being personal and intimate and exclusive, not new video, which frames your content in a way that's available for anyone and broadcasted to the public and not for anyone special. Do you notice the difference? So I want you to replace one of your promos this week with a story-driven framework. Frame the way you market it into that story context, okay? And if you're not sure how to come up with this, instead of saying, here's my new video, saying something like, last night I filmed something I wasn't sure I wanted to share, you can go to GPTease for this, guys. Go there and say, give this example. Instead of saying, here's my new video, I want to frame it in some type of storytelling framework similar to, last night I filmed something I didn't want to share it with anyone, but I couldn't stop thinking about how much you loved it. And then ask GPTease to give you more of these story framed promotions based on the kind of video you're promoting. So if it's a JOI video, tell GPTease that. It'll help you write these. You don't have to sit there and waste your time trying to like come up with this or develop this new skill. Lean on the tools, guys. Now, all of this, identity, rituals, storytelling, it takes creativity and it also takes consistency. And this is why I want to remind you that you can lean on the tools, because if somehow, you're listening to this, you're not familiar, SWCEO, we released this AI tool for creators made to help you, brainstorm captions, scripts, post ideas, content strategies, all of it. So it's kind of your creative assistant that never burns out. You just feed it your personal, brand and personalize it to your style. And it's going to give you fresh ideas that you can use for things like this. So if you're not familiar with GPT's AI, go there, try it for free. It's going to help you do the heavy lifting. Now, one exercise for you to start this week. Remember, I promised you something earlier, right? Here it is. I want you to, after this episode, right after you listen, go and write your cult builder statement. Okay, so that's going to be one sentence that defines your brand so that you can start building a cult-like following. Now, I'm going to give you examples because, again, I don't want you to wonder how to do this. So if you are the playful girlfriend persona, this sentence might be, if you're here, you're already my favorite distraction. It might be, this is where teasing turns into something unforgettable. It might be, I'm your girlfriend that never gets tired of keeping your attention. Again, this is how you frame your persona in one sentence that's going to speak to fans that are going to be attracted to this kind of quote unquote cult, to this kind of brand that you've built, this kind of persona that you have. If you're the dominant seductress or the dom type, maybe that statement is, if you're here to obey. Maybe it's, this space belongs to me and you're lucky to be invited. Maybe it's, follow me if you crave surrender, control, and the thrill of being owned. Can you start to see how this one sentence directly speaks to your target audience, directly speaks to that kind of fan that belongs to your quote unquote cult? That is what this one sentence is meant to do. If you're the relatable girl next door, your sentence might be, if you're here, you're a part of my safe, messy, and real corner of the internet. Maybe it's, this is for people who want something genuine, not a polished fantasy. Maybe it's, I make content that feels like you stumbled into my bedroom by accident and I happen to let you stay. Okay, again, this is speaking to the kind of fan that belongs to that girl next door cult, that wants to be a part of that brand, wants to follow that kind of creator. Chaotic bestie. If you're here, you're in on the chaos and you'll love every second. Another one sentence might be, this is where I overshare, laugh too loud, and keep you hooked on all the mess. Another one might be, my world isn't perfect, but it's fun, sexy, and unpredictable. Welcome to the ride. Again, this speaks to the kind of fan that belongs in the kind of cult that is the chaotic bestie creator persona. If you're the Lux or Findom persona, your sentence might be, if you're here, you belong to the inner circle where the fantasy gets real. Or it might be, this is the VIP club where seduction is an art and access is rare. It might be, I don't just share content, I invite you into a world most people never see. You get that exclusive vibe, that fantasy, that high-end, that Findom vibe. Again, those sentences speak directly to the type of consumer you want to attract to your cult. This one sentence, one liner that you're going to build as this exercise, your cult builder statement, is designed to speak to the kind of fan or consumer you want to target and attract into your cult, your group, your tribe, your brand. Frame it however you want. The beauty of these is that you can pin them in a post, you can say them out loud in a voice note, you can weave them into your captions so that your fans feel like they're declaring membership into your adult creator cult. Okay, so post it publicly, pin it, share it in your captions, your voice notes, your mass messages. Let the fans self-identify as a part of your world as an adult content creator, as a part of your brand. This is how you shift from content creator to creator cult leader. All right? Building a cult following, it's not about manipulation. It is about meaning. It's about making people feel like they belong, that they matter, and that they're a part of something that's bigger than themselves. You already have all of the power to do this, okay? It's in your voice, in your stories, in your rituals, in your energy, in your vibe, all of it. And here's a challenge. Don't just keep this to yourself, right? Share this episode with another adult creator who needs to hear it, someone who feels stuck or is thinking about posting more nudes when really it's about building deeper connections to their audience. Because the truth is, fans don't stay because of how much skin you show. They stay because of how you make them feel. And when you master that, you don't just build a fan base. You build a family, you build a movement, you build a following that is loyal for the long haul. And that, my friends, is how you run your career, not just as any creator, but as a brand that will go the distance. And that is my wish for you, CEO Squad. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.
It would be absolutely incredible if you rated this podcast 5 stars and left a little review. We want to get this podcast to as many adult creators as possible, and you taking a second to leave a couple stars and a review really helps us do that. Thanks so much.